The following presentation is for informational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure your condition, or to be a substitute for advice from your physician or other healthcare professional. Welcome to Tools for Healing and Well-being. I'm your host, Elaine Jagelski. And in this episode, we will explore tapping away the tension. Tapping, which is a part of the emotional freedom technique, or EFT, which is a mind-body technique that involves tapping on specific acupressure points on the body while focusing on negative emotions or physical sensations. Now, the full technique takes specific training. However, the tapping portion can be easily learned and applied by anyone. It has been researched extensively, showing positive effects in a variety of areas. The first of those being in anxiety and stress reduction. Tapping has been found to be particularly effective for reducing symptoms of anxiety, stress, and PTSD. Research indicates that tapping calms your amygdala, the brain's fight or flight center, which reduces the intensity of stress responses. The second benefit is depression and PTSD. Tapping has also demonstrated effectiveness in treating depression and PTSD, with several studies showing that tapping significantly reduces symptoms of these conditions. It can be a powerful tool for emotional healing. The third benefit is physical pain and healing. Tapping has been used to manage chronic pain and other physical ailments. By addressing both the emotional and the physical components of pain, it helps to decrease your sensation of pain and speed up recovery by promoting a more balanced nervous system. Fourth benefit, weight loss and cravings. Tapping has been applied successfully in weight management, where it can help to reduce food cravings and emotional eating. By tapping on the emotional triggers for overeating, you can experience improved control over your eating habits. So you might be wondering, how does it work? So it involves tapping on 9 acupressure points while verbalizing a setup statement related to the issue being addressed. This process is believed to create a prediction error in the brain, allowing for memory reconsolidation and restructuring of the neural circuits that sustain negative emotions or behaviors. The 9 acupressure points used in tapping are based on acupuncture meridians in traditional Chinese medicine. Each point corresponds to specific energy pathways or meridians believed to influence physical, emotional, and mental health. So here's the significance of each of the 9 tapping points. So the first is the karate chop point, which is related to the small intestine meridian. And so it's located on the side of the hand below the pinky. And so this point is linked to emotional processing and letting go of negative emotions. It's often used to set up the tapping session, helping to prepare the mind for emotional release. The second point is the eyebrow point, which is related to the bladder meridian. The location is just on the inner corner of the eyebrow, near the nose. And during the tapping component, both hands, one hand, either hand, can be utilized on the various points. Now, this point is associated with the bladder meridian, and it helps with releasing fear and emotional trauma, calming the mind, and reducing anxiety. The third point is the side of the eye, which is related to the gallbladder meridian. The location is on the bone at the outer corner of the eye. Now, this point is connected to the gallbladder meridian, which was mentioned, and it's associated with frustration, anger, and decision making. So tapping here helps reduce feelings of anger and irritation. The fourth point is under the eye and related to the stomach meridian. The location is just below the pupil on this bone, on the orbital bone, under the eye area. And once again, it can be one, it can be both sides. And the significance is that if this is linked to the stomach meridian, and this point helps with emotional stress and worry, especially related to fear and anxiety. And it is also associated with grounding and centering, which is one of the elements that you're working toward when you're doing the tapping, and so dissipating the fear and anxiety. The fifth point is under the nose, or the governing vessel meridian. Now, as a note, with some of these points, it can be with the fingertips, it can be with the side of the finger, whatever feels most comfortable. Now, so this location between the bottom of the nose and the upper lip, and this point is thought to assist in releasing shame and embarrassment. And it's connecting to the governing vessel, a central meridian that balances the body's energy systems. The sixth point is the chin point, or the central vessel meridian. And so its location is in the indentation between the lower lip and the chin. And tapping this point can help release emotions related to guilt and self-worth. It connects to the central vessel meridian, which affects emotional balance and confidence. The seventh point is the collarbone point, or kidney meridian, and it's just below the collarbone. It's associated with the kidney meridian. This point helps reduce anxiety, fear, and stress. Tapping here helps strengthen feelings of safety and calm. The eighth point is under the arms. It's related to the spleen meridian. It's about 4 inches below the armpit, and it can be one arm on either side or together. And it's connected to the spleen meridian, which governs self-esteem and compassion. Tapping this point helps to release emotional tension and self-doubt. The ninth meridian is the top of the head, or the crown chakra, and so its location is the crown of the head. This point is associated with the body's governing vessel, which influences all the body's meridians. Tapping here helps balance the body's energy systems and promotes overall clarity and relaxation. We'll take a look at what the tapping practice looks like. All right, so welcome, Dawn, to this segment, to this practical segment of tapping. And so if you don't mind introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Dawn King. I'm 62 years old, retired bus driver. And what else would you like to know?
And you live in Lethbridge?
I live in Lethbridge.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I imagine that when you were driving the bus, that could get a little stressful at times, I'm guessing.
Yes. It got very stressful. Yeah, there are lots of kids, and they're very loud, and they don't like to sit down, and they don't like to be told what to do.
Exactly.
And
do you still do any bus driving at all at this point in time?
No. Once I retired from driving school bus, I did about 1.5 years excursions through Martha's House.
Mm.
But I gave that up in February.
Okay, excellent.
So.
And now you're very active, yes?
Yes, people keep telling me that.
Well, that's a good thing. So what kinds of things are you involved with?
Let's see. Well, I swim and we play tennis almost every day. Even in the winter time, we clean the courts. We're a little crazy that way. And we bike. We have electric bikes that we bought 3 years ago during the pandemic. And so we do a lot of biking, and we golf. And let's see, is that it?
Hey, that's a lot, right?
That's
a lot of different activities
it's,
to be involved with. So that's great. So those are wonderful things that are, to engage in order to enhance well-being, right? Staying active and that sort of thing. Now,
Yes.
when we had just a little previous chat, you had identified that sometimes there's still some stress and anxiety that you experience due to a variety of reasons. Is that still the case?
That is still the case, and I think that's one of the reasons that I do all the activities that I do.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I don't have to look at the anxiety. I don't have to look at the feelings that are causing the anxiety.
Understandable.
I use yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do today is look at a method called tapping. And it's part of a larger process called EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique. And that technique actually takes very specific training and certification. But the tapping portion is simple to learn and can be utilized by anybody. So that's the portion we're going to do today. And one of the important things to remember as you're doing this is initially just let yourself feel whatever you're feeling. So this is a great one to utilize if you find yourself feeling stressed, feeling anxiety, whatever it might be. And just as a side note, this technique can be used for other things. So for example, enhancing sleep, so getting better sleep, or losing weight, or changing some other behavior, and a number of other things as well. But we're going to focus this on decreasing stress and anxiety, tension, which it can be very useful for as well. And so with that, when you first start feeling it, then whatever the unpleasant emotions are, then you just start to let yourself feel that. And then as soon as you can, you want to go into the tapping. So I'm just going to, before we actually get into the technique, I'm going to go through the various points. So this is kind of one of these techniques where East meets West. And so we're going to just be tapping on a number of meridian points that are all about calming and accepting and relaxing and those kinds of things. So what's going to happen, and so I'll just get you to do this at the same time as I'm doing this, and I'm going to talk you through everything, all right? So when I say eyebrow, you're going to go just to so feel free to give this a go. You're just kind of right on the inside of the eyebrow where it meets the nose. So you're just going to tap. And with this, I'll often use two hands, but you can use one hand. You can mix and match. Sometimes it's two hands. So when you're doing this, you decide what feels most comfortable, all right? Because maybe one arm starts getting tired, or you want to switch it around. That's fine. It doesn't have to be both. It can be one. It can be one or the other. And then the next point is just on the very outside edge of the eyebrow. So this will be outside of the eye. Okay, so I'm talking about that. Then the next one is under the eye. So it's just on this orbital bone here. You're just going to tap. And it's just a jump. There's a little bit of pressure, but nothing too hard. And then it's under the lip, above the lip. So between the nose and the top lip, you're just sort of tapping there. And you can tap
So
this
it doesn't
way.
matter if you use the front or the side or the...
However you want to do it is perfectly fine.
Okay.
The next point is between the bottom lip and the chin. So just that sort of almost that little indentation there. And again, you can do it this way, you can do it this way, whichever way you want. Okay. The next point is just under the collarbone, right? So if you locate your collarbone, just slide under. And again, it can be one hand, it can be both hands. And so you're just tapping along those points. The next point is under the armpits, and I know this looks like a little bit like a monkey. So you can cross over. You can do one hand, or you can do them both together. Again, you decide what feels most comfortable, and it's about 4 inches under the armpit.
So kind of where your bra strap
Yeah,
is?
for females and or for anybody wearing anything like that, it's in that region. You got it. And
Okay.
then the next point is the top of the head. Okay, so right
Okay.
at the crown of the head. You got
Okay.
it. Okay. And we actually start with the karate chop point, so just on the outside edge of the hand. But once we get past that one, we're going to leave that one out, and we're just going to continue to run through. Now, I will say the point, and I will say a phrase. I know it'll seem a little awkward or odd at first, but then you're just going to repeat the phrase. Okay. And so, whatever you don't have to say, oh, inside of the eye, outside of the eye, just whatever the phrase is as you move to the various points. And there's no right or wrong as far as when a person does this for themselves. It's just whatever is coming up for them, is kind of talking it out and using these various points to soothe, right? To relax, to feel more comfortable. All right. So, any questions before we begin?
No.
Okay,
I don't
excellent.
think so.
All right. So, just take a breath or two just to kind of center as best as possible and just ensure that you're comfortable. But feel free to kind of adjust a little bit as we go if you find that, maybe there's pressure on one side of the body and you need to adjust a little bit. Feel free to do that. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, you've taken a nice deep breath or two. Excellent. All right. So we're just going to start with this karate chop point, all right, just on the outside of the hand. And you're just sort of tap gently. And the beginning phrase is often so you start with an even though. And like I said, I'm going to say the phrase and then you repeat it. And if for some reason you don't, it's like, what was that? Just ask me to repeat it, okay? Or say it as close to as whatever you thought I said as possible. So it's fine. It doesn't have to be exact, all right?
Okay.
All right. So even though I'm feeling stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. So go ahead and repeat as you continue to tap on that point.
Okay. Even though I'm feeling stressed, I deeply
And completely.
and completely accept myself.
You got it. Good. And even though feeling this anxiety is very stressful, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though this anxiety is very stressful, I deeply and completely accept myself.
All right. Inside of the eye.
Oop. Uh-oh.
So, even though I don't like feeling this,
Even though I don't like feeling this,
outside of the eye, I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Under the eye, I know this pattern.
I know this pattern.
Above the lip, I've felt this before.
I've felt this before.
And then in the chin, and I know that this always passes.
And I know this always passes.
And then under the collarbone. And even though I don't like that this happens,
And even though I don't like that this happens,
under the arms, I know that I'll be all right.
I know that I will be all right.
Top of the head. Every tap releases some tension.
Every tap releases some tension.
Inside of the eye. It's all right to feel what I'm feeling.
It's all right to feel what I'm feeling.
Outside of the eye. I don't need to judge how I feel.
I don't need to judge how I feel.
Under the eye. As I tap, my brain reprograms.
As I tap, my brain reprograms.
Up top of the lip. I let myself dissolve the tension.
I let myself dissolve the tension.
chin. I let my mind come up with different ways.
I let my mind come up with different ways.
Chest. Of dealing with the anxiety.
Of dealing with the anxiety.
Under the arms. I know this pattern.
I know this pattern.
Top of the head. And I know that I'm capable of doing this differently.
And I know I am capable of doing this differently.
Inside of the eye. It's okay to relax.
It's okay to relax.
Outside of the eye. I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Under the eye. Body, it's okay to relax.
Body, it's okay to relax.
Above the lip. Mind, it's okay to relax.
Mind, it's okay to relax.
The chin. I'm feeling a little more relaxed.
I'm feeling a little more relaxed.
Chest. It's okay to feel whatever I'm feeling.
It's okay to feel whatever I am feeling.
Under the arms. I am safe.
I am safe.
Top of the head. I'm feeling lighter.
I'm feeling lighter.
Inside of the eye. I know my mind.
I know my mind.
Outside of the eye. Is coming up with solutions.
Is coming up with solutions.
Under the eye. And I feel more relaxed.
And I feel more relaxed.
Top of the lip. I can release this pattern.
I can release this pattern.
On the chin. I'm starting to feel more hopeful.
I'm starting to feel more hopeful.
On the chest. I'm feeling more confident in my abilities.
I'm feeling more confident in my abilities.
Under the arm. And trusting my body.
And trusting my body.
Top of the head. And my mind.
And my mind.
Inside of the eye. To assist me.
To assist me.
Outside of the eye. With releasing this anxiety.
With releasing this anxiety.
Under the eye. And coming up with.
And coming up with.
Top of the lip. New ways.
New ways.
Underneath. Of being.
Of being.
Just. With stress, anxiety, and tension.
With stress, anxiety, and tension.
Under the arm. I'm feeling more capable.
I'm feeling more capable.
Top of the head. Of dealing with.
Of dealing with.
Inside of the eye. Whatever comes my way.
Whatever comes my way.
Outside of the eye. I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
I can trust myself.
I can trust myself.
Top of the lip. I'm feeling more hopeful.
I'm feeling more hopeful.
Underneath. I'm feeling relaxed.
I'm feeling relaxed.
Top of the chest. I know this can be different.
I know this can be different.
Underneath the arms. I'm feeling hopeful and optimistic.
I'm feeling hopeful and optimistic.
Top of the head. I know that this can be different.
I know that this can be different.
Inside of the eye. The things that stress me out.
The things that stress me out.
Outside of the eye. I trust my body and mind.
I trust my body and mind.
Underneath the eye. To come up with different ways of responding.
To come up with different ways of responding.
Underneath. I know I'm capable of this.
I know I'm capable of this.
Underneath. I'm actually very resilient.
I'm actually very resilient.
Chest. I'm stronger than I give myself credit for.
I'm stronger than I give myself credit for.
Underneath the arms. I'm feeling very capable.
I'm feeling very capable.
Top of the head. Relaxed.
Relaxed.
Side of the eye. Hopeful.
Hopeful.
Outside of the eye. Optimistic.
Optimistic.
Underneath. Safe.
Safe.
And on the chin. Positive about my way forward.
Positive about my way forward.
Chest. I know that I can make it through.
I know that I can make it through.
Underneath the arm. Whatever comes my way.
Whatever comes my way.
Top of the head. I am on my way forward.
I am on my way forward.
All right. Drop your arms. Deep breath. Okay. Now, how are you feeling?
Well, I feel pretty good.
Okay.
We would definitely have to do this more than once to believe what was being said.
Yeah. But even though, and it's a great point to bring up, because especially initially when you're doing it for yourself, you're tuning into your own, so you might not change kind of what you're saying or how you're talking about it until you actually start feeling like, I don't feel as if this is as stressful, as tense. When someone else is guiding it, and within a certain amount of time, then it might progress faster than where you actually are at. So when you're doing this for yourself, or if anybody's doing this for whatever it might be, is feel whatever you're feeling. Just whatever comes out, just and whether you're getting the points exactly or not, doesn't matter. Just talk through it. You're just kind of getting it out. You're talking about these various points. And then eventually you'll notice that there's a shift, that all of a sudden, I don't want to talk about this the same way. And you'll feel a little bit of lightening. And so then that'll change how you're talking about it. But typically, you'll be doing this when you're by yourself.
Right.
And so whatever you're saying, however you're saying it, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just working on getting it out there, right? Being aware of what am I feeling, what's happening, allowing yourself to accept yourself and those emotions, not judging them, not trying to stop them, but through the process of working with the meridians, then shifting into a different way of feeling about it. And so you'll notice that your rhetoric or what you're saying is going to change in that regard. And so allowing yourself just to go with whatever's coming up for you, right, as far as that's concerned. So, all right. So is there anything else that you want to comment on as far as how that experience was for you?
No, I know things like loving yourself. It's like I could see myself. I love myself. I love it. But and so that resonated. Like, is that true?
Yeah, right. Bringing awareness to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
And and I'm stronger than I give myself credit for. That one sort of resonated.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't believe it, even it's just planting it, beginning to plant
Right.
those thoughts and letting that percolate kind of in the subconscious is great. All right. Well, Dawn, thank you so much for participating in this practical portion of tapping away the tension. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and hopefully I am on my way to being less stressed.
So each of the meridian points, the side of the hand, inside of the eyebrows, outside of the eye, bottom of the eye, top of the lip, below the lip, just below the collarbone, under the arms, and top of the head, all correspond to energy pathways or meridians in the body. And so tapping on these various points, once again, whether that's a few fingers, one finger, side of the finger, one hand, both hands, is thought to stimulate your energy flow, helping to resolve emotional and physical blockages. This can all lead to reduced stress, reduce anxiety, and assist in pain relief and better emotional regulation. Some of the current research that is associated with this, even though tapping is rooted in a combination of Western psychology and Eastern acupuncture principles, has shown that tapping these acupressure points reduces activity in the amygdala, which is the brain's center for processing fear and emotional responses, which leads to reduced stress and improves emotional health. Remember that there isn't a specific script that goes with the tapping. It's common to start on the karate chop point with the phrase, even though, and then name whatever it is you're feeling, whatever the issue might be is in that moment. I deeply and completely accept myself. Or it could be, I love and accept myself. Start by allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling in that moment. So you're not trying to block out the emotion. And you talk it out as you just work your way through the various points. And you'll notice that as you do so, eventually it'll shift from feeling very anxious or very tense or very frustrated or very angry or embarrassed or whatever it is that you're feeling. You're not judging it, you're not blocking it, you're allowing it, you're talking through it as you move through the points, that at some point there'll be a shift where you'll start moving into a more positive and optimistic dialogue with yourself and just allowing that to come forward in whatever way that it does. And so there is no right or wrong. Let yourself feel, let yourself shift. It might take a minute, it might take up to 10 minutes. The more you practice this, the more you'll notice changes within yourself for the better that overall affect your health and well-being in positive ways.